Well, Tim, we have a guest for Coffee Talk today.
Is it the...
Oh! It's my new friend, Steve.
Yes, Steve! Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Steve, you want to come up here and...
Come on, Steve. Steven!
Yeah, oh yeah, right. We should need that. He's a professional. Now, Tim, I don't want you to be jealous because he wanted to interview me today. But I'm sure he's very curious about you now that he knows you a little bit.
Yeah, Tim was very nice to come over and introduce himself to me, so
he's very friendly.
Very good. Yeah.
He's
Thanks.
friendly.
Thanks.
I gotta say that the one thing that impressed me, I came up to an open mic night several weeks ago, and the amount of original music that was done is insane. It's quality music, and Melissa is certainly a big example of that.
Definitely.
So I think she did a real fine job today.
I'm actually really glad that you brought that up because I recently went to Nashville. I was fortunate enough to be able to follow my husband on a work trip, and I was expecting to hear just gobs of original music, and we went to place after place after place, and it was cover song after cover song after cover song, and and we were just very surprised by that experience, and it left us really appreciative of the music scene, the small part of the music scene that we're a part of, because we are fortunate to have some very much emerging talent come in here, and just because it's emerging doesn't mean it's not good. It's I'm very humbled by the talent we see in here a lot of the time, so I'm glad you mentioned that.
Well, I think the community, Vienna at large, is very fortunate that you chose to let the local artists here have a venue to display their talents.
Well,
I think it's huge. And that's
you.
why I was interested in coming and speaking to you, because I think it should be highlighted that you have such a successful place here. The Soundry is, it's wonderful.
Thanks, Jen.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I still think we're kind of, still underground a little bit, although, we've been around a little over 2 years, so I think people are starting to find out about us. But I'm hoping that we're just sort of I hope other places will open like us, because I think it is important. I think the arts in general bring so much to the community. They're such a vital part of it, and they've been really undervalued or kind of set aside, I think, over the years, especially in this area where, real estate is so expensive and people are so into their, technical careers, and lawyers and lobbyists and consultants, whatever that is. So I do find the environment really refreshing myself. So
I noticed that when I was here at the open mic night, or it wasn't the open mic night, but on one of the artists' open house nights, the range of people that were here was incredible. That's why I was very impressed by that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, very incredible. It speaks well of what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's really important too. It's funny because sometimes people come in and like, oh, this is a young people's place, and I know actually, we do get people of all ages. Art and music.
White hair.
Yes, you're so ancient. So yeah. Well, thanks for noticing those things.
So, one of the things I wanted to find out is how the Soundry came about. What was the genesis of the concept? What drove you to do it? Because what can you say to somebody else who you just mentioned? Hopefully other people will do it. What might they be thinking about?
Well, yeah. I always joke that it was we lost our minds. Like we had this period in our life where we just went insane and decided to do this. But it was several years ago. I have to give credit to Thor, my other half. He's been a hobby musician since I've known him, which has been a really long time, and it's been really important in his life. We both been really. We really love local art, local artists. We started buying, original artwork, scraping, money together to buy pieces that we like, and it got really addictive. And we just, every once in a while we get a chance to travel and we go to towns that had, were a little richer in the culture, or their community was richer, I should say. There were, individually owned businesses and shops and art galleries and music and things kind of happening that involved, that engaged the community in a really kind of lively and interesting way. And I felt like, just, we were sort of Northern Virginia, DC metro area was very much a victim of its own success, that we'd built, we were very successful. The real estate, values were going way up, and the only people that could afford to open up a business or do anything were, big box retailers and chains, and it just sucked the life right out of Northern Virginia. You go to you go anywhere in Northern Virginia and you're going to see the same, 10 stores or restaurants. And one day Thor took his bass into work. He's a software developer by day, rock star at night. And
sweet.
And he was really surprised that all these people started coming out of their offices, and they were like, I play music too, and I do this and I do that. And you'd never guess it because, it's not obvious, based on their day job. And we knew a lot of artists that were doing really creative things just in their basements and kitchens. And again, nobody knew that they were doing this. They were so isolated. And we would just talk about how it would be great if there was just a place where everybody could come together and hone their talents and network, and some place where the public could come and see all these wonderful things and engage and interact. And the more we talked about it, the more we, sort of an entrepreneur at heart, I started thinking about, the viability of it as a business, and here we are. I haven't proved that viability yet, by the way, but I'm trying. I'm trying really hard.
Work in
We're
progress.
working on it. It's a work in progress.
You're the mother of it all, Jen.
Yeah, I don't know. But,
The chicken charge, right?
Chicken charge.
That's so much better than owner, CEO, or it's a little less dry.
So when you were looking around and you were trying to find a place, how did you pick downtown Vienna, or did Vienna pick you?
It sort of picked us in a way. We were searching in the beginning, kind of, sort of almost like fantasy-like searching. We would go to these industrial areas and try to find cool buildings. And over the course of 2-3 years, we got more and more serious. Our business, we started writing a business plan. We started talking about it more and more. And while we were getting more serious, the industrial buildings were being torn down, and more development was happening, and we started getting really worried that there wasn't going to be any place that would be left that would be affordable. And we were actually walking. We don't live far from here. We were walking on the bike trail, and we saw this, for lease sign on this old auto body shop, and I thought, well, that's kind of a cool building, and it's in a safe neighborhood. A lot of the places we were looking at were
Ghetto.
a little ghetto, a little sketchy.
Uh-oh.
And we wanted to be open late, and we wanted people to feel safe coming here late at night. So it was kind of important that, it was a little bit safe. So, we made that's kind of where it started. We saw the building, we thought we could make it work, and then got a whole big education on, converting a space to an auto body shop to an arts incubator. It's they don't write a book for it, first of all, and it was really, really hard.
Trial by fire.
It took us a year and 13 days to open the doors, and it was a really, really painful process. Not to discourage anybody, but it was really, 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 really hard. Yeah.
How was it? I'm curious. How was it dealing with Vienna, the town itself? Were they helpful?
Might be a stretch. I don't want to say anything. Looking back, they weren't horrible at all. It's just that it was really, the concept was different. It was really hard to define. We weren't a restaurant. We weren't any one thing. We were sort of this combination space and a concept, and it was hard to label. So at one point they thought we were a cafeteria, and we were denied, and then we had to spend weeks trying to just tell them, no, we're not a cafeteria, we're not really even sure why you thought
that.
That
doesn't make any sense
yeah,
at all.
I mean, just, you're dealing with bureaucrats, they've got you get their attention for 2 seconds, and if you can't describe it, or, so there was a lot of red tape, and there were a lot of weird rules in Vienna about parking, and if you've got deep pockets, you can buy your way through zoning, but we don't, so we did the best we could.
Well, that's much to your credit. I mean, that you did. I mean, it's wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.